Welcome to part 4 of the coming Juggernaut. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, gentlemen. Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk, back at you one more time. Yo, man, yo. Give you that side eye. You can see it, can't you? Well, not through these, but yeah. Part 4. Realization. You are seeing, slowly but surely, the realization on the part of the females and the weaker, lesser males. Now, I mean no disrespect when I say that about our male brethren, about our counterparts. You are seeing the realization by these people that men with ways and means, men that are skilled, men that have trades under their belts, are opting to leave societal support. They just ain't doing it no more. I see this creeping realization. I see this in people when they're talking. Just heard a conversation the other day, standing in line. My ears perked up a little bit because you know how it is when you get to that point in that conversation and they start hitting on them red pill terminologies, that MGTOW terminology. Somebody actually said MGTOW in the line, a grocery line. I'm sitting there, I'm like, eh? Like, yeah, man, I've been reading a lot about this. There was a female standing there. Well, what the hell is it? What is MGTOW? I was like, MGTOW. You're an American. Give me a fucking break. It's MGTOW. What is this MGTOW? Well, it's a bunch of guys, and they're gone. They're leaving. They do this thing. It's called ghosting, and I don't really know what it means, but there's millions of them. And I was trying not to laugh, and I didn't want to correct the guy, so I just let him go. I don't like jumping into people's conversations, you know, and I especially don't want to tip my hand in that regard. I don't want to do that. So to me, it was humorous, it was funny, but it was also sad. There was a little bit of sadness there because it's getting out there, and the way that these people, especially your fake media, try to prop up things like white supremes, and they try to make everything about this, and they try to make everything about race, and they try to make everything about the evil ass white people pushing motherfuckers down, like that faggot piece of shit John Roberts that was doing that shit to what's her name, Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press briefing girl, followed in the fine footsteps of Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Oh yes. Before her, Sean Spicer. Sean Spicer did all right. I think he just got tired of that shit fast and he got moved out. And it's easier for the press to attack a man in that position than it is to attack a woman, although we've seen that they have no issues whatsoever attacking females too. None. Zero. But I thought that it was funny. It was humorous to me. The coming Juggernaut, the coming Colossus, One of those phases of the coming juggernaut is realization. I see it in people's faces. When the idea, the concept of relationships and marriage and family come up, these people look like a deer in headlights. They really do. They think that they're supposed to talk about it. They know they're supposed to say something, but they don't know what to say. Because the concept, all of those concepts are broken. They're broken beyond repair. You can't repair these institutions, and you have to call it that. Well, getting together with somebody and having kids is not an institution. Yeah, but it's been made that way. You see, it's been made into that. Anything, any action, anything that you can do out here has been thought of in a way to monetize it or restrict it. That's just how the system works. You see, if they can't properly restrict it, they make it illegal. Like marijuana, right? You're growing a fucking plant and smoking a plant. Who cares? Now, I think that the smell, to me, is fucking repugnant. It's repulsive. I hate it. I can't stand it. Right? And the fact that it fucks with your head a little bit, I don't like that either. But let's be real. It's a plant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of medical benefits to it as well. But that's becoming less and less and less a restriction, and more a push for it. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next few years you see every state legalize it to some degree. You know, that way they can get a piece of it. Well, they do the same thing with your sexuality. When I say they, I mean the government. I mean liberals. I mean the people who have openly and blatantly revealed themselves to be who and what they are. The people that want to control every goddamn thing about life. It's funny how the mask has slipped. It's funny how the snake has slipped its skin, and people are still having a hard time identifying this. It's fucking amazing. That just shows how stupid the basic population is. How dumb they have become. I mean they. All of them. All of them. The realization that women in particular are having out here is that the fucking honeypot is running dry. It's running dry. And it's not because the government's going to run out of funds. It's not because the government is going to not do these stupid, incompetent programs. It's not because the government is going to disincentivize marriage and incentivize divorce and wealth transfer from men to women. They're going to do all of that until the fucking second that the goddamn thing just will not work anymore. That's what they're going to do. It's running dry because men are walking away from the system entirely. Some folks would say, well, as social engineers, we anticipated this. We knew it was going to happen. I don't buy that. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the people that make these things happen, the people that force these things down the throats of Joe and Jane Doe, I think that these people did not believe for a fucking moment that men were going to be able to get their biologies together and walk away. I don't believe that. I don't believe that they ever saw that coming. That's an unintended consequence of fucking around with human beings and being such an arrogant, cocksucking, prick fucking organization at the same time. I don't think that these people understood that men were just going to jet. Men were just going to say, fuck it. It's not worth it anymore. Not going to do it no more. And you're not talking about men my age. You're talking about men that are 20. Men that are 18. Younger men, 17, 16, 15. They're making the decisions themselves to not be involved with this. Do you know how many cases I read about over the last 5 years where little preteen girls get together and me too some fucking kid because they just didn't like him? Dozens. Dozens. That I know of, that we know of. You don't know how many kids have gotten their asses kicked or their teeth pushed in because some fucking girl pointed the finger at him and said, he's the one. Hell, that was happening to, I had an instance like that happen when I was younger, when I was a kid. This girl accused some guy that we knew that we were hanging out with, and we went after him, man. We wanted fucking blood. Come to find out a couple of days later, she was just embarrassed that she let it go that far. She false accused him. I'm glad that we didn't catch him. He was a fast runner. I'm glad that we didn't catch him. But I hope that that red pilled the shit out of him, because it sure as fuck started my journey. I never in my wildest dreams, thought that somebody would just make something like that up where another person could get really fucked up over it. But I've seen too many instances of it. Tens of thousands. Those are just the ones that are reported, that are documented. Gang, let me tell you something. The realization that these people are having right now is something that they can't acknowledge. Cheers. The realization of what's going on is something that these people cannot acknowledge. They cannot and will not do it until they're being pushed out on the street and there are no welfare or social programs to cover their asses. If I was on the street tomorrow, I'd survive, because I know how to survive, because I've been there, because it happened to me several times coming up as a kid. I've been there. I know how to survive. I know how to make it. I know how to get employment. You see, when I've got nothing, I know how to get employment. I know how to go where to get what, so that I can feed me, take care of business. These other people don't know this. They rely on the ingrained, socialized kindness of men, of boys even. You think a full-grown woman wouldn't actually use a boy or make a boy feel guilty and give up his daily bread to save her? You're goddamn right they would. They would do it in a second, in a hot second. I've witnessed that as well. Yes. One of the phases of the coming Juggernaut is the realization that you're on the outside looking in. You're no longer part of the club. And you didn't know when the transition took place. You didn't know when you got handed your walking papers, when you got ousted. You know, when I go to the grocery store, I see very distinct, separate emotions in people. With women in particular. Now, there are the odd outliers that don't fall into this. And I am of the opinion that it's because they're completely oblivious, or because they've got their head so far up their asses that they don't understand what's going on. But most of the females that I see in the grocery store over the last 6 or 7 months, I sit back and I watch them, I observe them. You know, of course, they're picking out their lettuce or their little fruits, or they're going and they're grabbing their selection of meat. Nobody's shopping nearly as heavily as they were prior to the Wuhan surprise. Nobody. I don't see people walking out of these stores with baskets full of groceries. I'm not saying it don't happen. I just haven't seen it. They have a tendency to have a long face. Like they're deep in thought. They're not thinking about a grocery list. They're thinking about when that last meal is coming and what they can do. They're metering out that money that they've got, that they're lucky to have. Right? Their purchasing power, so to speak. With men, when I'm in there, I'm talking, I'm chatting, I'm directing my son to go to this aisle or that aisle. Go over there and get that, boy. Go get that one over there, sir. Oh yeah, bring me back 3 of those. And I know how to smart. I'm frugal. I know how to shop. I know how to spend money. I don't waste my money and I don't waste my time. And I got a smile on my face. And I have seen more than once, more than twice, more than 10 times, somebody giving me the side eye. I'll catch them looking at me out of the corner of my eyes. I got really good peripheral vision. And they'd just be like, They don't want to hear none of that. And more often than not, men are just jumping around having a good time. They're doing their thing. Do you know why? Because most men aren't worried about this. Women, they may not even understand what that realization is. They may not even understand that they're having those thoughts and feelings, but they're having them. They're there. Excuse me. Kill him! Oh, he coughed! Look, Trump's got COVID! Oh, you're dying, bitch! Not today. So I think that's very funny, very humorous to me, to sit back and observe how people, by and large, especially the sexes, are acting or not acting. I don't think that they're acting. I think it's 100% legit for the most part. So yeah, gents, the coming Juggernaut, one of the phases is realization. The realization that eventually this is going to stop. Disney just laid off almost 30,000 people. They're in dire financial straits. Disney cruise ships were going to be dry docked, but the governor, to the best of my understanding, did not allow them to dry dock their vessels, to keep their vessels moving and going. The cruise lines, Disney Cruise, right? Now, 30,000, you say, it's a drop in the bucket when you're talking about what's going on. There's 80 million in the workforce, or some number equivalent to that. Don't hold me to that number, but it's something like that. 30,000, that's nothing, blah, blah, blah. It's 30,000 people now, which you can pretty much bet the vast majority of them are not single. 50% of them probably have kids. I'd say probably 50%. So now you're talking about 50,000 sets or 30,000 sets of people, which in effect, it affects about 60 to 70,000 people when those drop their jobs, or their jobs disappear, or they evaporate. Oh yeah. Interesting goings on. I told you that my job is slowing down. They slashed one run off of everything that we do this whole week. And we should be speeding up going into the Christmas season. And they slashed production. Just got word. I'm not supposed to know this, but people like me. So they talk to me. They like, I'm like, no. Just got word that the third week of October, actually the last week of October, my primary recipients of these loads that I deliver are going to be closed. Coincidentally, headed right into the week of the election. I don't think that there's much coincidence about that. I think that they know what's coming. And I would ask you to keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. So when these big manufacturers who have never, ever shut their plants down the week going into the election, they know what's coming. Just like I know what's coming. Oh, baby. Oh, man. So keep it together, gents. And remember, gang, every day, every moment above dirt is a good moment. Get your butts out there. Go enjoy your sun. If it's raining outside and you won't freeze to death, go jump out in the rain, man. Do something that makes you feel good. Forget about your circumstances for a few minutes and try to stack minutes into hours and stack those hours into days. All you have to do, man, is keep breathing. Keep breathing. Something's going to change for you if you want it to. Now, I realize that some of us are not in a position to effect any kind of change in our lives, and we are stuck like Chuck. And I understand that. I do understand that. I have been one of those people. But I still have upward mobility. I still have the ability to get things done. So far. So in that sense, it's not lost on me that I'm lucky. It's not lost at all. You gents have a good one. I'll talk to you in a bit.